We've all heard the saying, trust takes years to build, seconds to break, and forever to repair. Plenty of stars have had their careers rocked by a controversy, only to bounce back and continue thriving. But others haven't been so lucky. There are some cases where celebrities get exposed for lying, and the resulting scandal shatters their image for good, leaving them without any hope of rebuilding their reputation. That's exactly what happened to all of the stars on this list. So let's take a look at the top 10 celebrities that lost the public's trust forever. Number 10, Loughlin and Felicity Huffman. In 2019, several college coaches and officials became embroiled in the nationwide college admissions scandal, but what actually caused it to make headlines was the involvement of the two famous actresses. Loughlin, the star of Full House, and her husband, Mossimo Giannulli, was said to have bribed college officials with $500,000 in exchange for having their two daughters appear to be on the USC crew team in order to get into the Ivy League school, despite the fact that their daughters Bella and Olivia Jade were completely unfamiliar with the sport. Following their initial fraud charges, the couple were hit with an additional money laundering and bribery charges. While they initially pled not guilty, the couple agreed to a plea deal in May of 2020. Felicity Huffman, on the other hand, made a so-called charitable contribution of $15,000, all to participate in the college entrance exam cheating scheme on behalf of her eldest daughter, Sophia Grace May. The Desperate Housewives actress and her husband, William H. Macy, then made arrangements to do the same for their younger daughter, but they later decided against it. After Huffman pled guilty to fraud charges, she was sentenced to 14 days in prison and publicly apologized for her role in the scandal, admitting that she paid to improve Sophia's SAT scores. She said, "I want to apologize to the students who work hard every day to get into college, and to their parents who make tremendous sacrifices to support their children and do so honestly." The scandal, which drew in Hollywood stars, hedge fund millionaires, and athletic coaches, exemplified the advantages afforded to wealthy applicants and fueled debates about fairness and equity in admissions. Number 9, Elizabeth Holmes. In 2014, Theranos was flying high. It was a blood testing startup with supposedly revolutionary technology that claimed to be able to perform hundreds of tests ranging from cholesterol levels to complex genetic analysis, just with a single pinprick of blood. It was said to revolutionize medicine and save lives the world over. Elizabeth Holmes was the founder and CEO of Theranos, and she'd famously dropped out of Stanford to found the company using her own tuition money. Soon enough, the company had become the rising star of Silicon Valley and was valued at over $9 billion, while Elizabeth was labeled as the female Steve Jobs. So what was the problem? Well, it was a pretty big one, considering that the technology didn't actually work. It was a secret that very few people knew, and one that Elizabeth went to great lengths to hide. But after receiving a tip-off, journalist John Carreyrou first broke the story in 2015. He started doubting the legitimacy of the technology after learning that she'd only taken 2 semesters of chemical engineering classes at Stanford. Sooner or later, it was revealed that Theranos was not using its own technology to run the majority of its tests due to its inefficiency. At first, Elizabeth adamantly denied the claims made against her, but when she could no longer contain the truth, she stepped down as CEO in 2018. 3 months later, the company officially shut down following an investigation by the FBI, and in January this year, she was found guilty on 4 charges of defrauding investors and sentenced to over 11 years in prison. Number 8, Jussie Smollett. The world was shocked in January of 2019 when news broke out that the actor became the victim of a hate crime while he was walking the streets of Chicago at around 2 a.m. The star of the hit TV series Empire claimed that he was the victim of a homophobic and racist attack and said that he was brutally attacked by 2 white men wearing ski masks. Jussie was full of emotion when he told his story on Good Morning America the following month, which was his first interview about the alleged attack. He became teary-eyed at one point, saying that he was forever changed and felt pissed off by both the incident itself and the skepticism swirling on social media. He explained that he did not hand over his cell phone to police because he had private pictures and videos and numbers on there. But that same month, more details would surface that poked holes in his story. And little more than 2 weeks after the alleged incident, Jussie was arrested and charged with filing a false police report. It was eventually revealed that he paid 2 brothers $3,500 to stage an attack in an effort to raise his show business profile. The actor was found guilty of lying to police, and as a result, he was sentenced to 30 months probation and 150 days in jail. He was also ordered to pay $120 in restitution, with an additional fine of $25,000. The incident led him to be written out of the final season of Empire, and he claims that he's not received any work in acting ever since. Number 7, Cole and Savannah LaBrant. The LaBrant family YouTube channel seemed to be perfect on the outside. Cole and Savannah amassed more than 13 million subscribers, as fans love to tune in to the daily vlogs from the seemingly wholesome blonde couple with a beautiful family. But the internet's collective outrage against them really seemed to boil down to 2 separate incidents. In 2018, the couple came under fire for allegedly faking an evacuation during the California wildfires. They made a viral video called "A Giant Fire Makes Us Evacuate Our House," which garnered widespread sympathy from their fans. But only at first. When people did some real digging, they found out that their location was not listed as an evacuation area for the fires, and their neighbors even came out saying that the family's home was never in danger, and that the video was intentionally misleading, and they said that they were exploiting a serious situation for views. But that wasn't all. In 2021, the LaBrant family posted a video with a thumbnail of their 2-year-old daughter Posey in hospital, with the caption, "She got diagnosed with cancer." In the vlog, the couple said that they were worried that their daughter had leukemia because she would often wake up in the middle of the night with pain in her legs. But halfway through the vlog, they revealed that she did not in fact have cancer, but called the whole thing a health scare. The video was slammed for its clickbait title, and the family has not been able to rid themselves of the controversy ever since. Number 6, Bow Wow. In May of 2017, the rapper was caught in a humiliating lie when he posted a photo to Instagram claiming that he was boarding a private jet from Georgia to New York, all to promote his upcoming TV show Growing Up Hip Hop. But soon after, a photo began to circulate online that showed him on a commercial flight alongside fellow passengers. The caption read, "So this guy Lil Bow Wow is on my flight to New York." But on Instagram, he posted a picture of a private jet captioned, "Traveling to BY today, SMH." Fans also noticed that Bow Wow's original photo of the private jet appears to have been taken from a website for a Florida VIP transportation company. It seems as though the rapper desperately wanted fans to think that he lives a life of extravagance, as he rushed to deny the claims, alleging that the photo of him on the flight was an old picture and that the haters should stay out of the big boy lane. He then went on the Breakfast Club radio show and doubled down on the lie, insisting that he posted a picture of a private jet simply because he liked it, and said that he never claimed to be boarding that exact plane. Ironically, Bow Wow did not seem to learn from his mistakes when he posted a clip of himself on Twitter 1 year later, supposedly running from his fans after a show in North Carolina. He wrote, "30 years old and I'm still getting chased. This crap will never stop." But it later came out that he had actually paid some fans to chase after him just for the video. Number 5, Sam Bankman-Fried. The now disgraced crypto billionaire founded one of the biggest cryptocurrency exchanges in the world when he was only 25 years old. Thanks to its growing popularity, Sam quickly rose to the top of the industry and soon became a celebrated philanthropist worth around $16 billion. He was praised as a certified genius who could be on a Zoom call with investors and playing video games in another tab. But by mid-November, he found himself at the center of a colossal scandal that left his empire and his image in ruins. According to a report from the Wall Street Journal, he's said to have illegally taken about $10 billion of his customers' money to put into his trading firm called Alameda Research. On the surface, his company FTX appeared to be thriving, as in the past year, it made several high-profile acquisitions and bailed out other failing crypto companies. But in reality, it was actually drowning in debt, with billions of dollars missing in customers' funds. According to several news outlets, the DOJ and the SEC are now actively investigating FTX, and Sam's friends and associates have already distanced themselves from him in the wake of the scandal. It wasn't long before he resigned from the company, as it collapsed from a surge in customers all trying to withdraw their funds, but to no avail. Sam has since been jailed and has been extradited to the US, where he faces criminal charges. Number 4, Ashlee Simpson. In October of 2004, the singer stepped onto the legendary Saturday Night Live stage to perform. It should have been a major highlight in her career, but instead it marked the beginning of her downfall. While the band began to play the song, the vocals for the first track began to play, and Ashlee paused in horror. It was the worst possible way to be caught lip-syncing. Clearly panicking, she looked around at the band, held the microphone by her side with the vocals still beating out unnervingly loud. After pulling off a series of improvised dance moves, she walks off the stage and producers cut the performance and head to commercial. It was a hugely embarrassing moment that only got worse when she returned to the stage and tried to blame the band. In the days that followed, Ashlee changed her story and said that she lost her voice because of acid reflux, and under doctor's orders, she was told to use a backup track. Unfortunately, this incident happened at what would be the height of her career, and she would never be able to live it down. The following January, she performed live at the halftime show for the Orange Bowl, and the camera picked up some loud boos from the crowd. Whether that was because they were genuinely angered by the performance or just hopping on what was then a fashionable Ashlee Simpson bashing bandwagon, fans had unmistakably turned against her. Although her singing career continued for several years after that, she eventually faded from the spotlight for more than a decade. Number 3, Austin and Catherine McBroom. The Ace family is known as one of the biggest family vlog channels on YouTube, with 18.8 million subscribers. But Austin and Catherine McBroom are notorious for frequently being embroiled in controversy after controversy, which has completely destroyed their reputation on the platform. There was a time that they got caught staging a break-in to their home and even got their young daughter to react to the fake scenario, and they had a police officer on the scene, although that was a paid actor. They were also caught lying about the state of their multi-million-dollar home. In October last year, creditors foreclosed on their $10 million mansion after the couple amassed an $8.7 million debt. Not only that, but in June of 2018, Catherine and Austin were accused of scamming audiences to increase their subscriber numbers when they posted a video saying that they would give $100,000 to a subscriber of the Ace family who could complete a basketball challenge. That same month, they sent out a post saying that they selected 20 basketball players and YouTubers to compete. They ended up giving the money to a close friend of theirs who also happened to be a wealthy basketball player. And get this, he was not even an official competitor to begin with. So it's no surprise that they've lost so much of their audience over the years, because most of the scandals that befall them are often a direct result of their own dishonesty. Number 2, Hilaria Baldwin. The former yoga instructor and wife of Alec Baldwin found herself in a scandal of epic proportions when it was reported that she'd been faking her accent and allegedly her entire heritage. It all started when comedian Amy Schumer made a joke on Instagram, posting a postpartum photo of Hilaria holding her 3-month-old baby while wearing lingerie. She was making light of the fact that Hilaria looked like a Sports Illustrated model just months after giving birth to her 5th child. Then she got upset and went on Instagram Live in response, calling for body inclusivity and saying that the movement also needs to include women who look like her. But in the heat of the moment during the 4-minute video, Hilaria forgot to speak in the Spanish accent that she's been putting on for close to a decade. This resulted in a massive internet investigation where people found out that she is in fact not from Spain, as she's claimed multiple times in the past, but she was actually born in Boston, USA. Oh, and her name isn't Hilaria, it's Hillary. Dan's also dug up a shocking clip of her on the Today Show, pretending not to know the English word for cucumber. Eventually, she started backpedaling like crazy and claimed that she first visited Spain when she was a baby, and her family returned at least once every year. But she declines to specify how much time she spent there altogether. So the only thing that we know for sure is that she's very clearly exaggerated the truth of just how Spanish she really is. And coming in at number 1, Steve Rannazzisi. In interviews, the comedian would often say that he survived the events of 9/11 and said that his near-death experience influenced his decision to get into the world of entertainment. He created his own backstory, saying that he worked for Merrill Lynch at the World Trade Center and was fortunate enough to escape the tragedy. Soon after that, he apparently moved to LA, got into stand-up, and became a cast member of the sitcom The League. He obviously claimed to have escaped the tragedy, but throughout the years, details about his 9/11 survival story seemed to change. He went from claiming that he was jostled all over the place while working in the South Tower when the first plane hit the North Tower, to backpedaling and claiming that he was outside the whole time, because he said that he was working downtown. At this point, he was gradually downplaying his whole story, but when an investigative report from the New York Times uncovered the truth, he finally owned up to it, saying, "I don't know why I said this. This was inexcusable. I am truly, truly sorry." That same day the story came out, Steve tweeted his apology for letting the lies spiral out of control. He wrote, "For many, many years, more than anything I have wished that with silence, I could somehow erase a story told by an immature young man. It only made me more ashamed." Weeks later, he went on Howard Stern and admitted to his mistake once again. again, saying that he just wanted to be accepted by other famous comedians when he first moved to LA. Although he apologized, he was never truly able to live down the scandal. Well, that's everyone that we have on the list for this video. Please let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next video.